Matt Higgins gives the wave off to the pace car down in turn 4. Should be ready to go as they come down off turn 4. David Sanchez and J.R. Del Vecchio on the gas off turn 4. Down they come. Green flag flies. They're down into turn 1 on the inside. David Sanchez going to lead them up through the east end. Off turn 2 down the back stretch. Del Vecchio sets sail.
3 wide, midway back in the pack. Everybody sorts it out to the back straightaway. They're looking good up in turn number 3 with David Sanchez. Whoa, a little bit out of shape there in turn 3 as they go through the west end banking, but everybody does gather it up. We stay green flag, and Sanchez leads.
Good racing back through the pack now. A bit down to the inside. Eddie Riska loses the handles in turn 1. We're going to stack them up on the outside. Eddie Riska just flat out lost the handles on that one up here. And road was the Stan and Franz Texaco 00 double lot of Chris Kakosa. The red lights are off. Matt Higgins has waved the pace car down off the speedway surface. And we should be ready to go once again. David Sanchez shown as your leader. This time by, he'll have Hawley Smith going with him, and we are underway. Green flag flies. Sanchez going to lead him down to turn 1. The Alligator takes the low road here in turn 1 and 2. Off turn 2, they race down the back chute.
3 wide, battle for position there, but it's Bobby Chalmers of the DMC Machine Shop 24 taking over the number 2 spot as he gives chase after your leader, David Sanchez.
That's the way they'll run 1-2 as they step off the banking at turn 4. Your third place car is Butch McWhirt. The Alligator now rides back there in 4th spot. That's Art Collins. And then we got a car in trouble in turn 1. McWhirt with the 32. And yellow quickly coming out on the speedway.
Caution coming out for the McWhirt Trucking 32. Art Collins out of Chatham. In car number 68, he's your third place runner here as we get back to go racing green. Bobby Hackle, last Saturday night's winner, is right there as well, so keep an eye on him. Mike Mason with the 26 car is there as well as we show 2 laps complete coming down to your starter, Matt Higgins.
Off turn 4, green flag is out. Once again, we are underway. Sanchez going to lead him down as he has every time so far. And now here comes last Saturday night's winner, Bob Hackle Jr. Bobby Hackle taking over the point.
Bobby Hackle threading the needle on that restart, outside in maneuver, and now he makes a pass for the lead. David Sanchez wants to battle him back, but we've got a new leader out in front with the All-Star tractor trailer driving number 97. It's Bobby Hackle.
Down the front chute into turn 1, your third place man is Bobby Chalmers. Chalmers with the DMC number 24. Back in 4th spot is the Cassidy Excavating 111 of Jeff Cassidy, and now a side-by-side run for 5th.
It's Art Collins moving down underneath the 26 car, and George Marcus, the defending track champion with the 91M, going to come right with him in that duel for 5th.
Last week, Bobby Hackle relied on these drivers to battle amongst each other, and Bobby flat out ran away with this feature event win. Once he got to the front tonight, he'd like to do more of the same.
Bobby Hackle wasting no time getting to the front here with just 4 laps complete. Bobby Hackle now with a 6-car length advantage over David Sanchez running in the number 2 spot.
Then back there in 3rd spot is the 24 of Bobby Chalmers. Chalmers continues to watch the backside of Sanchez's number 23. He'd like nothing more than to pull in on the inside here as he looks down to the low side off turn 2.
Chalmers in 3rd, Jeff Cassidy all alone in that 4th place spot with the Cassidy Excavating 111 car. And now a car to keep an eye on here out of New Fairfield, Connecticut, the 91M of defending track champion George Marcus as he rides in 5th.
That battle for the runner-up spot continues to be a good one as Bobby Chalmers had looked low once again on David Sanchez. Sanchez trying to hold his line but starts to ride up the banking, opening that bottom line for Chalmers in the corners.
David Sanchez out of Rensselaer, New York with the 23 car runs to that number 2 position. Bobby Chalmers going to come right to his inside here, and they'll go side to side in the front straightaway.
Slower car comes into play as now Chalmers has to back out of it, pull back in line, but once again he'll look low. This action has allowed your 3rd and 4th place cars to close.
And George Marcus has made a pass for position. He's gotten around the 11 of Jeff Cassidy. George Marcus, your new 4th place car. He'll now go after Bobby Chalmers in a race for 3rd place. Marcus on the inside, Chalmers on the outside. Here in the front straightaway, they touch.
Great battle back there for 3rd spot as now the experienced one, the 91 of Marcus, two-time track champion in this division. He takes over third spot. He'll set sail after the runner-up, Sanchez.
George Marcus in a big march towards the lead here. Runs now in the number 3 spot. He's working on your second place man, David Sanchez, with car 23 as they worked in lap traffic.
While these battles continue, your leader, Bobby Hackle, continues to ride by himself on the point right now, as now Marcus has taken over the runner-up spot.
George Marcus makes the pass down underneath David Sanchez off of turn 2 to take over the number 2 position. That'll put Sanchez back in third, Bobby Chalmers fourth, Jeff Cassidy fifth, and now George Marcus will chase after your leader, Bobby Hackle.
Last Saturday night, Bobby Hackle, while in the lead, had built himself a huge lead and saw it go away to caution. Will George Marcus have to run him down under green flag conditions, or will Bobby Hackle now be slowed in slower traffic?
George Marcus finished third here on opening night last Saturday for the Sportsman division. Bobby Hackle the winner, and now these two cars have closed together here. Hackle and Marcus running 1-2 in the East End.
Back there in third spot continues to be David Sanchez. He rides all by himself right now, as now the 24 of Bobby Chalmers has slipped by for fourth.
Bobby Chalmers races there in fourth, and Jeff Cassidy in fifth, and they are close to the rear deck of the 23 of David Sanchez here, working on the slower car.
Then we've got to go back a ways to find your sixth place car. That'll be the 68 of Art Collins. Seventh place will be the 26 of Mike Mason, while riding in eighth is Rapid Roy Bridge. Ninth spot, the 51 of Hawley Smith, and rounding out your top 10 is the number 12 of Denny Young.
A bid for the lead from the defending track champion, and we've got a car right here at the entrance to the front straightaway. Just as that yellow flag comes out, George Marcus made a pass down underneath the 97 of Bobby Hackle.
Red lights have been extinguished. They'll come down to the cone here out of turn 4 and be ready to go back to green. Matt Higgins, green flag in hand. Let's them go off turn 4. We are underway. Marcus, Hackle, and Sanchez going to race down to turn 1. Sanchez down to the inside. He'll try and make a move on Hackle. We got one into the wall up here in turn 1. Another car up in smoke down here on the straightaway. Yellow lights come on the speedway as we've got one up against the outside retaining wall in turn 1.
Yellow initially coming out for the Saxton Sign S car of Rapid Roy, the stock car boy. Your trailer driving school, Hackle's VW foreign car service. Number 97 there in second spot. David Sanchez rides in third. Bobby Chalmers in fourth. Jeff Cassidy in fifth. Art Collins in sixth. Hawley Smith in seventh. Mike Mason in eighth. As they come down to your starter, Matt Higgins, he lets the green flag fly.
Green flag, we are back underway down to turn 1. The number 91 M of George Marcus picks up where he left off. Riding back there in second spot is the 97 of Bobby Hackle. And your third place race now is settled out for the 23 of David Sanchez.
Sanchez trying to mount a bid here for the number 2 running spot from Bobby Hackle. Can't quite do it there as he moves back in line here in the front stretch.
Down the front stretch they come. Pass back there for the 6th spot as Art Collins has retaken that position. Got his way back around Mike Mason. Mason back to 7th position. 8th is the 51 of Hawley Smith. 9th, the 117 of Jason Tompkins. Then we go back to the 811 of Fred Bagley.
On the lead in continues to be George Marcus as he's now stretching it out a bit. He's opened up a sizable lead over second place man Bobby Hackle. 14 laps are in.
Off turn 2, your leader Marcus looks down the backstretch. Nothing but clear sailing for your leader, and he'll start to stretch himself out a comfortable lead on second place running Bobby Hackle.
Hackle all alone in that number 2 spot. The race now for third place here between David Sanchez, who's got the spot, and Jeff Cassidy, who's running fourth, would like to take that spot away.
Riding back there in the 5th spot continues to be the number 24 of Bobby Chalmers. That's your top 5 as they run. Chalmers sits there in 5th spot and about another 6 or 7 car lengths back to Art Collins in 6th.
And then in 7th is Mike Mason and Hawley Smith in 8th. Last car in that draft as they exit turn 4 here. George Marcus continues on the point.
Single file racing all the way back through your top 10 now as your leader Marcus making his way by a slower car. Has got nothing but clear sailing once again in front of him. He'll try and wrap this one up, try and turn in as fast laps as he can, and keep Bobby Hackle back there at a comfortable margin behind him. Yellow coming out, car in turn 2. For the completion of this Rupp Reynolds Sportsman feature event. As George Marcus, the lead is gone now. Bobby Hackle will have to muster whatever he can for your leader as they come off turn 4. Green flag is out. We're back underway. Marcus going to bring him down into turn 1. Hackle taking a little bit of peek up top. They'll come up through turn 1 and 2 down to the inside of 111 of Cassidy, trying to make a move for third place on Sanchez.
Sanchez in at number 3 spot. Cassidy in 4th. Bobby Chalmers rides in 5th. They'll go that way through the West End banking one more time. Coming down on the white flag here. 1 lap to go.
One more lap on the high banks for George Marcus, the defending champion here in this division. George Marcus looks to pick up his first feature event victory of 1997, and right now less than 1/2 lap from victory.
George Marcus ready to bring it on home off of turn number 4, coming down to the checkered flag here, and it's George Marcus picking up the Rupp Reynolds main event for the Sportsman cars. A lot of contact there at the finish, with Bobby Hackle finishing in 2nd spot, Jeff Cassidy in 3rd, David Sanchez 4th, and Bobby Chalmers unofficially completing the top 5. And some contact off of turn 4 coming down to the finish here and the front straightaway, but fortunately everybody all right there, but they do jam it up in the back straightaway. Contact and cars coming together there with the 111, the 23 together in the back straightaway. But in the meanwhile, it's George Marcus out of Brookfield, Connecticut, scoring win number 1 of 1997. George Marcus, 2-time High Point champion here in the Sportsman ranks at Lebanon Valley. Last year's champion. Finished 3rd on opening night, and now with a win, probably, I would imagine, going to go into the point lead as a result of tonight's victory. So Dan Martin making his way down track side. We'll get a word with George Marcus, actually for the 2nd time this evening, because Rich Sheehan had him in for the Drivers Point Fund 50-50 draw there a little bit earlier. But George Marcus in victory lane for the first time in 1997, so we'll be down to congratulate him. Then we'll open up the gate. Any of you folks that like to make your way over to the pit area, you're welcome to do that. Of course, the Speedway Clubhouse is open for sandwiches and beverages over there, and you can warm up and talk some racing here, let the traffic clear or whatever, and hang out till the wee hours of the morning over at the Lebanon Valley Clubhouse. So we invite you to do that, and of course, next Saturday night, as we've already mentioned several times, back in action here for our Memorial Day Holiday Spectacular. All classes in action, and we've got the Demolition Derby added, a 4-cylinder demo. Those are always a lot of fun. And a ladies' cannonball run as well. And be sure to get here early if you'd like to get that free flag gift while supplies last for the early arrivals next Saturday. All part of that big Memorial Day holiday weekend, the unofficial start to summer for 1997. So George Marcus rolls the 91M into victory lane, and Dan Martin is there.
Well, George Marcus down here in victory lane for the first time in 1997, unstrapping, taking the steering wheel off the car. And what has been, well, a lengthy evening with a rain delay. Right now making his way out of the car, and we have seen this one before. Into victory lane for the first time in 1997 is George Marcus. Going through a little lesson, Matt Higgins straightening the hat out. George, congratulations. Well, come on around the front of the car. I think we've done this once or twice before. Matter of fact, it takes me back to a story back to the banquet when you told me, I'm looking forward to talking to you on a lot of Saturday nights.
Absolutely, because when we get to talk to you, we know we did our homework and everything went good.
14th starting spot tonight. You had a long ways to come.
Yeah, but the car got better as the race went on, and the motor was excellent. The motor was unbelievable. The car was hooked up good, and we just found the right combination for tonight.
Oh, in another situation last week, well, you might not have been up to Marcus standards, maybe coming right out of the box. But we know how much work the Marcus brothers turn in on the midweek effort, we'll call it.
Absolutely. We were a little disappointed actually by last week. We missed the chassis setup a little bit, but we learned from last week, and we did what we had to do to the car, and it worked this week.